Hello everyone. If you are studying in MCA first year SEM 2, you must be dealing with advanced DBMS subject. So here I am to teach you advanced DBMS. I hope you have gone through the syllabus and our first chapter is Introduction to DBMS. Now, Introduction to DBMS has different table of contents, that is database and need for DBMS, characteristics of DBMS, database 3-tier schema and system architecture, views of data schemas and instance, data independence, centralized client server system, transaction server, data server and cloud-based server. So, as the name suggests, DBMS means database. So, what is database? A database is a collection of integrated data which is used to insert, update, delete, and retrieve the data. So, if you're having a box, a carton in your house, and you want to store some things, for example, you're storing books into it, means that carton is a structure. That carton is a structure of a table. That carton is a storage box where you are going to store some books, and the books you are going to store into it is the data. Means whatever you are storing into it means you are inserting that data into a structure. Whatever you are going to retrieve it means whatever you are going to use from that box is known as in retrieving from that box. Whatever you are going to remove from that box means you are going to delete from that box, and whatever you are going to update means after the books you are going to store some different things into it means you are updating that box. This is known as a maintaining or storing the data into a database. So got the point? What is database? Database is a collection of integrated different types of data. So what is DBMS? So DBMS stands for Database Management System. Management system is a software where you are going to maintain the data which you are going to store into rows and columns. Means whatever structure you are going to create into your management system, you are going to maintain that data into a centralized part. Means multiple users can use that centralized part from different accessible modes. So this DBMS must have been created some or the other time. So it was created in 1960 by Charles Bachman, and the first integrated database was known as I told the name. So the first DBMS was known as Integrated Data Store. So it was created by Charles Bachman in 1960s, and it was first called as Integrated Data Store. So after having a means after storing the data means there is an user, a particular user, so he is going to store things, he is going to store books into a carton, and those process or those tasks are known as user tasks. So DBMS has four different user tasks. The first is data definition. So, what do you mean by data definition? Creating the structure of the data or creating the structure so that you can store the data is known as data definition. The second is data updation. Whatever insertion, updation, modification you are going to do into the structure is known as data updation. In data definition, you create the structure, you're putting some data into it is known as data updation. The third is data retrieval. Whatever data you're going to store into that structure, you're going to use that structure, you're going to use that data is known as data retrieval. For example, you're pouring some petrol into the bike. You're having a bike, you have bought that bike, means that is data definition. You're pouring some petrol into it is data updation, and you're using that bike after pouring the petrol, you're using that bike is known as data retrieval. User administration, maintaining your bike means you are cleaning it, you are washing it, you are using it, is known as user administration. In the same way, after your data definition is done, data updation is done, retrieval is done, there should be some of the more security into it, what the user is doing into that structure, what the user is putting the data, what he's inserting into it, is known as user administration. So got the point? There are four different tasks in DBMS, sorry, user task in DBMS. That is, first is data definition, second is data updation, third is data retrieval, and the fourth is user administration. So as we go further, uh, our mother tongue has different languages, like some has Marathi, Hindi, Kannada, Marwadi, Gujarati. The same way, if an management system is designed, there are different languages. Different languages means different processes to do the queries, different processes to insert the data, update the data, delete the data, maintain the data. There are different languages for the database, and there are four important language for database languages. And the first is DDL. DDL stands for Data Definition Language. So, as in the user task, we have seen that definition language, or sorry, data definition, the same thing goes with it. The data definition language means it creates the skeleton of the database, it creates the structure to store the data into a database. So, every language has different commands, different syntax, so that we can create the different processes. So the first process is creating the process or creating the structure. It is used to create new table, new database into a management system. So the syntax goes as create database, database name. To create the database, you have to go with the query create database, database name. And to create the table, you have to go with the process create table, table name, column name, and data type. You must be knowing there are different data types, that is integer, character, varchar, email, phone number. These are different types of data types. So to create table, you have to go create table, table name, whatever table you want to create, and the column name and the data type. So the examples are create table library, create database library means there is one single form and there are multiple tables into it. For example, your institute, your college has different departments, means department table will be done. Students table will be done. Teachers table will be done. Non-teaching staff table will be done. In the same way, library has books into it, means you have to create the table books, create table books, book number, that is in integer format, book name, that is in varchar format, and publisher, that is also in a varchar format. So did you got the point? We will also see this into a practical format, but now basically we'll see into a theoretical format. So the next is alter. Alter command is used to modify the database structure. And to modify the database structure means you have created over here a table book. So you want to add one more column into it, that is price. So by using alter, you can add a new column, that is price. So add new column, alter table, table name, add column name means you have to add a a column into a table, means alter table book, add price, that is into a integer format, and the size of the integer, or else you if you don't mention, that's fine. Okay. The next is renaming the table. Alter table name, rename to old table name to new table name. If you want to modify or if you want to change the table name of book, you can change it by giving old table name to new table name. The next is modify a column. If you want to change the data type of the price, I want to keep it into a float, so I can do it by alter table name, modify column name, and the new data type whatever you have to store. Delete a column. If you want to delete price column which you have recently added, you can go with alter table name, drop column name. So alter table, the book table, alter table book, drop column and price. Okay, did you got whatever I have taught? So in alter there are different commands, that is add a new column, rename the table, modify a column, and delete a column. Now the third command is renaming. You have to rename the object. You have to give a new name to an object. You can use rename old name to new name. Drop is used to delete objects from the table. If you want to delete a table, if you want to delete the database, so use the drop command. Drop table name means drop table book, it will be deleted with the data which you have stored, and drop database name, whatever database you want to delete, you can delete it from the database. Truncate. Now what the truncate does, is the difference between drop and truncate. In drop you can delete whole of the data and table both, means structure is also deleted and the data is also deleted. But in truncate the structure remains as it is but the data is deleted. So truncate table book का जो भी डेटा होगा, मीन्स वट एवर डेटा इज स्टोर्ड इनटू द बुक टेबल will be deleted, and the structure of the table, like you have put book number, book name, publisher, price, it will remain same, the columns will remain same, only the data will be deleted. So next is comment. Now what is comment? It is used to add comments to the data dictionary. If you want to note something into the program which you are doing, into a query which you are doing, the comment is used. There is single line comment and multi-line comment. So our first command, as we have studied, that is DDL command, where the structure is created, and to create the structure we have seen different commands, that is create, alter, drop, truncate. Okay, there are different commands, and the next is DCL. So what you mean by DCL? DCL stands for data control language. Whatever structure you have created into your management system, that is an software, you have to control that system, you have to control whatever you have created. Means अगर आपके बाइक में आपने पेट्रोल डाल दिए है तो आपको कंट्रोल करना पड़ेगा उस बाइक को, आपको चलानी पड़ेगी, आपको अपडेट करना पड़ेगा, उसको वॉश करनी पड़ेगी, उसको मेंटेन करना पड़ेगा, सर्विसिंग करवानी पड़ेगी. दिस इज इन डेटा कंट्रोल लैंग्वेज. अ डेटा कंट्रोल लैंग्वेज इज यूज्ड टू एक्सेस स्टोर्ड डेटा, or it is mainly used to grant the user access to a database. So for example, अगर मेरी बाइक है तो मेरी बाइक मेरे दोस्त को चाहिए, तो वो क्या करेगा, मुझसे पूछेगा कि यार चल बाइक दे दे, मुझे थोड़ा काम है. तो मैंने क्या किया, उसको चाबी दे दी और वो क्या कर रहा है, वो एक्सेस कर रहा है, मीन्स उसका काम कर रहा है, वो चले गया, मतलब चाबी लेके गाड़ी चालू किया और वो घूमने चला गया. इज नोन एज अ DCL, डेटा कंट्रोल लैंग्वेज. सो डेटा कंट्रोल लैंग्वेज में 2 कमांड्स है. ग्रांट एंड रिवोक। ग्रांट में क्या कर रहा है, अगर यूज़र मुझे पूछ रहा है कि यार भाई चाबी दे दे, तो चाबी दे दे मतलब वो मुझसे पूछ रहा है, ही इज़ रिक्वेस्टिंग मी, एंड व्हेन आई एम गिविंग हिम द की ऑफ माई बाइक मीन्स आई एम ग्रांटिंग हिम द रिक्वेस्ट, I am granting him the request for whatever he has asked me. So grant is granting the privilege. For example, अगर मेरा बेस्ट फ्रेंड है तो मेरे पास एक सिल्क है, ओके तो सिल्क, उसने क्या बोला, यार भूख लगी है यार चल कुछ खाते हैं, तो मैंने क्या किया, मेरी सिल्क उससे शेयर की, that is I am giving him the priority, I am giving him my important thing, like silk is an important thing ना, कि अगर फॉर एग्जाम्पल लड़कियाँ खा रहे हैं तो लड़कियों के पास अगर सिल्क है तो वो बेस्ट फ्रेंड के साथ ही शेयर करेंगी. So the same thing happens with the grant. So the syntax for grant is grant privilege name on object name to user name, means whoever user is, user 1 2 3 4. So the privilege name means select update delete whatever privilege you are giving, कि अगर तू यूज़ कर सकता है, तू सिर्फ फ़ोटो खींच सकता है, तू सिर्फ देख सकता है. So in same thing in query language it is select update delete, and object name is whatever table you are going to, means grant select on table name, whatever table, and the user to whom you are giving the privilege. The next is revoke. So revoke is used to cancel the previously grant request. मीन्स अगर मैंने उसको चाबी दी तो मैं बोलूँगी नहीं यार मुझे बाहर जाना है, तो मैंने उसको दी हुई चाबी फिर से ले ली, इज़ नोन एज रिवोकिंग द प्रोसेस. मैंने कैंसिल की जो अथॉरिटी मैंने उसको दी थी, इज़ नोन एज रिवोकिंग द प्रोसेस. मीन्स रिवोक प्रिविलेज नेम ऑन ऑब्जेक्ट नेम फ्रॉम यूज़र, मीन्स रिवोक सिलेक्ट ऑन एम्प्लॉय from user 1. So got the point. What is DCL? DCL is data control language, मीन जो भी डेटा है उसको एक्सेस करने की मुझे अथॉरिटी चाहिए, is known as DCL. There are two commands, that is grant and revoke. So in the first part we have seen introduction to DBMS. We have started with introduction to DBMS chapter, and we have seen what is database, what is DBMS, 4 different user tasks that are, first is data definition, data updation, data retrieval, and user administration, 4 different tasks. And we have also started with data base languages. The database languages in which we have seen, the first is DDL and the second is DCL. So we will say the next 2 database languages in the second part. So thank you and stay tuned.